Charlie, Charlie, a horror short. It was a sultry summer evening when Sarah and her friends gathered in her dimly lit basement. The faint sound of cicadas buzzed outside, creating an eerie ambience. The group, composed of Sarah, Jake, Mia, and Tom, was always on the lookout for something new to excite their mundane high school lives. That night, the whispers of a game had spread through their school like wildfire. Charlie, Charlie, have you guys heard about it? Mia asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. They say it can summon a spirit. It's just a silly game, Jake scoffed, but there was a hint of unease in his voice. What do you need? A pencil and paper? Sarah nodded, laying out the materials on the floor. They drew a simple cross and labeled the quadrants with yes and no. The mood shifted as they realized they were about to engage in something that was rumored to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Tom, always the skeptic, rolled his eyes. You really think we can talk to a ghost with this? Why not? It's just for fun, Sarah insisted, trying to rally the group's spirits. As they lit a candle in the center of their makeshift Ouija board, an uneasy silence fell over them. The flickering flame cast dancing shadows on the walls, amplifying the tension in the air. Okay, everyone put your pencils on the cross, Sarah instructed, her heart racing. They each placed a pencil on the cross, and Sarah took a deep breath. Charlie, Charlie, are you here? She called out, her voice barely above a whisper. At first, nothing happened. The candle flickered, and the air felt still. Sarah exchanged glances with her friends, laughter bubbling up nervously. See? Nothing to be scared of, Tom said, breaking the tension. But just as he spoke, the pencil began to move. Whoa, did you guys feel that? Mia gasped. I didn't move it. Jake protested, eyes wide. The pencil slid across the paper, slowly settling on yes. A chill ran down Sarah's spine. Charlie, Charlie, can we play? She asked, her voice trembling slightly. The pencil moved again, this time more forcefully, pointing to yes. The room fell silent, their breaths mingling in the thick air. What do we do now? Tom whispered, visibly unnerved. Ask him something, Sarah urged, eager to push the boundaries of their dare. But, Charlie, what do you want? Mia asked, her voice shaking. The pencil danced once more, but this time it hovered over no. Maybe he doesn't want to answer, Jake suggested, though his confidence was waning. Let's just end it. No, we have to keep going. Sarah insisted, excitement and fear blending in her chest. Fine, Tom said. But I'm not responsible if something bad happens. Mia leaned forward, her eyes shining with curiosity. Charlie, how did you die? The pencil moved violently, jerking towards yes before spelling out a single word. Fire. The room fell dead silent. Did you hear that? Fire. Mia exclaimed, her voice trembling. Sarah felt a cold sweat trickle down her back. Charlie, was it an accident? The pencil moved again, pointing to no. What does that mean? Jake asked, fidgeting with his fingers. It means he didn't die by accident, Sarah whispered, feeling the weight of the words. It was something more. Okay, I think this is enough, Tom said, trying to lighten the mood but failing. Let's stop. But Sarah was transfixed. Wait, Charlie, who did this to you? The pencil danced, hesitating before spelling out a name. Lila. Who's Lila? Mia asked, confused. I don't know. Maybe someone from his past? Sarah suggested, a sense of urgency building. Let's do some research, Mia added. There has to be something online. But as they discussed it, the candle flickered violently and the lights in the basement dimmed. A sudden draft swept through the room, causing the pages of the notepad to flutter wildly. Okay, that's creepy, Tom muttered, backing away from the table. Ignoring Tom's discomfort, Sarah leaned closer to the candle. Charlie, can you tell us more? The pencil began to move again, this time forming a warning. Leave? Leave? Jake echoed, a mix of fear and disbelief in his voice. What do you mean leave? Is this place dangerous? Mia pressed, her heart racing. The pencil pointed decisively to yes. Sarah's heart sank. We need to end this now. Let's just say goodbye, Jake suggested, visibly shaken. The atmosphere grew heavy as Sarah choked out, Charlie, Charlie, we're sorry. We want to say goodbye. The pencil stopped moving, hovering for a moment before pointing to no. No? What do you mean no? Sarah cried, panic rising. Let's just blow out the candle. Tom yelled, reaching for it. But before he could extinguish it, the flame surged, illuminating the basement and casting long shadows against the walls. The air thickened, and a low whisper echoed through the room. Get out, the voice hissed, sending chills down their spines. Mia screamed as the candle flickered out, plunging them into darkness. They fumbled for their phones, illuminating their surroundings, but the light felt weak against the encroaching shadows. Did you hear that? We need to leave, Jake shouted, his voice echoing off the walls. Are you insane? We just summoned a spirit, Tom yelled, panic written across his face. Mia was shaking, her breath coming in quick gasps. I can't do this anymore. Suddenly, the basement door slammed shut, trapping them inside. Let me out, Tom shouted, pounding on the door. The walls seemed to pulse, the shadows deepening as if something sinister lurked just beyond their vision. Charlie, please. We didn't mean to disturb you, Sarah pleaded, tears welling in her eyes. Let's stick together, Jake urged, grasping Sarah's arm tightly. But the darkness seemed alive, swirling around them, whispering their fears. Now, echoed the voice, more insistent. Mia's voice broke through the fear. The window! We can escape through the window. Are you crazy? It's too small, Tom exclaimed, but desperation fueled their urgency. They rushed towards the window, pushing against the heavy air. As they struggled, the temperature dropped, frost creeping along the walls. Sarah glanced back and saw a figure in the darkness, its shape shifting and writhing. Panic surged in her chest. Go! Now! She screamed, forcing her way to the window. Jake was already pushing through, and Mia followed closely. Tom hesitated, the figure looming larger behind them, but finally dove through. Come on, Sarah urged, her voice breaking. What just happened? Mia panted, looking around as if expecting the shadows to follow. We need to forget this, Tom gasped, still trembling. We can't ever play that again. But Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that Charlie was still there, waiting. What about Lila? She whispered, the name echoing in her mind. We'll find out later, Jake replied, his voice firm but his eyes betraying fear. They all nodded, agreeing to distance themselves from the haunting experience. But as they walked home, shadows danced in their peripheral vision, a reminder that some games are better left unplayed. Guys, I think we need to make this right, she said one afternoon, her friends gathered at her house. What if Lila is trapped like Charlie? I don't want to go back there, Tom said, shaking his head. But Sarah couldn't let it go. They had to confront their fears. If we go back, we can find out what happened. Reluctantly, they agreed to return to the house, armed with